Hello everyone and welcome back to episode 3 of our introduction to ProStitcher Designer. Today we're still in the tools menu, but this time we're now going to have a look at the artwork function. So I want you to click on the little down arrow under the word artwork, and now the drop down will give you different options for the artwork shapes. So we're going to start with the rectangle shape, so click on rectangle. When your cursor comes onto the work area, it's a little plus sign with a little square beside it. So I just want you to left mouse click and hold and drag your cursor down in a diagonal direction to the bottom right of wherever you want your rectangle shape to be. And then release the mouse key and now you have your rectangular shape. This is the way we can now create a perfect square. I want you to hold down the control key on your keyboard. Left mouse click and hold, drag diagonally down towards the bottom right of wherever you want your square to finish. Then release the left mouse key and then release the control key, and now you have a perfectly proportional square. So the other thing we can do is now let's have a look at the artwork of an ellipse. So click on the down arrow under artwork, select ellipse, and now you'll have a little plus sign with a circle. Left mouse click again and drag down towards from top left to bottom right, and you can create an oval shape. Again, if you want to create a perfect circle, hold down the control key, left mouse click and drag down towards the bottom right, and now you will have a perfect circle. How easy is that? Okay, so now let's go to a new page. So let's go Control N for a new page. Let's have a look at the artwork of some of the other shapes. So let's choose triangle. Again, left mouse click and drag and create the triangular shape you want. Again, using the control key, it will give you a proportional triangle. Let's now have a look at the diamonds. Left mouse click and hold, and now you can get diamonds. Using the control key, you can now get an on-point square. Let's have a look now at the stars. So we now have a 5-pointed star. Again, using the control key, we get a proportionally shaped 5-pointed star. Let's have a look at the rounded shape. The rounded shape is for rounded corners. So again, it works like the rectangular tool. And again, using the control key will give you a proportional square. Hexagon. So let's draw a normal hexagon without control. And then we'll draw a hexagon with control. Oh, I'm running out of space here. Let's have a look at then the leaf. So again, we get a perfect teardrop shape. Then we've got our heart. Again, the control key will give you a proportional heart if you wish to use it. And then we have our lovely little petal flower. So they're the basic tools. The next one I'd like to show you is the spiral. So what we're going to do is open a new worksheet. So go Control N for a new worksheet. Go back and click on the down arrow under artwork and select spiral. So in the spiral, you're given different options. So we're going to stay with the single option. We'll just stay with 4 revolutions, and then we'll click OK. So now I left mouse click and drag, and then I can get either an ellipsed circle or spiral, or if I wanted to, I could use the control key and get a proportional spiral. Let's now change back to spiral again, and we're going to click on the down arrow beside single and select swirl. We'll stay with 4 revolutions. Left mouse click and hold, and now you can see your spiral. Let's choose now spiral again. Instead of swirl, we're going to go for a double. So left mouse click and hold, and now you have your double spiral. So basically it goes in and then it comes back out again. So the last one is now your spiral with a double swirl. And so left mouse click and hold and draw the size of the spiral you want. So again, it starts, goes into the middle, comes back out and finishes over here. Great little shapes for doing lots of specialised work. It's wonderful. While we're still on the spiral worksheet, I'd like to talk to you now about the two outline options, which is close and swap. So first of all, I'm going to select my double spiral here. And then what we're going to do is come up and we're going to go into our editing, into our shape mode. And then we're going to close the shape. So when I click on close, you'll notice now that it has automatically put a stitching line across here where the start and finish points were. So now it is a perfectly closed shape. Now, if the other option I want to do is I want to have my spiral start at a different position, I can choose this particular shape. So I'll choose this spiral here. I'm going to go into shape mode. So here's my start point on the left and my end point on the right. Now what I'd like to do is I'd like to reverse those start and end points. So I'm just going to come up here to swap, click on swap. And now when I come back into shape mode, you'll notice now that the end point is on the left and the start point is on the right. So that's how easy it is to close a shape, or you can swap the start and end points. Now I'd like to open a new worksheet again. So we'll go Control N on our keyboard. And now what we're going to do is have a look at the text tool. So click on text, and when you bring your cursor onto the workspace, you will have a little arrow with a letter A beside it. Just left mouse click anywhere on your workspace and then the word text will be created. If you come over to the properties panel over on the right hand side of your screen, you will be able now to edit that particular text. So what I'm going to do now is up in the text box here, I'm going to type in handy quilter. Okay. And then I'm going to come down and I'm going to choose my text or my type of font that I want to use. So it always remembers the last font that was used. So to choose a font, you click in the box underneath the lettering and you will now get your font screen available. So we're going to find Comic Sans because I know that is one font that everyone will have on their computers. So this is basically all the text or fonts that are on the hard drive of your computer. So we're going to go and find Comic Sans MS. I'd like to make it bold and I'm going to take the text size up to 20 and then click OK. So once I've done that, I'm now going to click apply over in the properties panel. And now there is my word handy quilter. So let me just zoom in on that for you. So what we want to do now is that we want to select it. So make sure you're in select mode and you have your lettering selected. And then I want you to come up to the top and click on the preview tab. Then at the moment, this design is in artwork only. And we can tell that if we come over to the properties panel again, under the sequence bar, click on the little plus and it's a text. So to me, that means that it is artwork. There's no stitches. So what we want to do now is in our preview tab is apply stitches to that particular design. Again, make sure you've got it selected though. And then, so now it's found the outline of our design. So I'm just going to change my color to red so it's a little bit easier for you to see on my screen. And then we're going to see how this design will stitch out. So I'm going to come up now to our stitch out and I get my color in the bar, which means that there's stitches applied. Okay, and then I'm going to click on play the stitches, which is the double right hand arrow. Now you can see exactly how your machine is going to sew it out. So you can see that the little dotted lines are the jump stitches between the letters. Okay, and there's some backtracking over some of the lettering as well. So I've still got my preview active, so what I need to do is right mouse click to finish it. So then what I'm going to do is make sure that I select everything again. So when I click on a letter, it's just going to select that particular letter. So then I'm going to go Control A to select all. And then I'm going to come up here and optimize entry and exit. So I click on that. You'll notice that some of now the dotted lines have changed position. And then I'm going to click on stitch out again. And then I'm going to simulate, play the stitches, so I can now see that it's not as much backtracking occurring in the design as previous, and all of this jump points are at the shortest point between each letter. Okay, so now let's have a look at the auto digitizing feature. So select auto digitizing. And now you're asked to find where your images are stored. So we're going to click on Browse, and I know that my designs are in a folder I created called ProStitcher Designs under my documents, and then I've stored the images in there. So you will need to locate where on your computer the images have been stored. Once you find the images, then we're going to select the snail and click Open. Then we click Next down in the bottom right hand corner of the screen, and I'm going to change the width of my snail to 6 inches. The height will automatically calculate because it is proportional, and then I will click Next. I now check what colours have been selected. I don't want the background to be reproduced, and it has automatically deselected the black background anyway for me. So now I click Finish. When I've finished the design, my little snail has now been created, ready for me to work with. So if I just come back into the Properties panel over on the right and click on Sequence View, you can now see all of the individual parts of the design with their different colours. I do like it when it comes in with different colours because it does make editing a lot easier to work with. So what we're going to do is you can start to play around with the design, and you can edit some of the features or some of the parts of the design that you'd like to change. So I might not want the little bumps here and here. So what I'm going to do is select that area, and then I'm going to select E on my keyboard to go into shape mode. And then I'm going to zoom in a little bit more and use my navigator pane to come over and see it in more detail. So there's a couple of little dots here that I don't really want. So I'm going to select that one and then delete it. Select that one and delete it. And then I'll select that one and delete it. So now what I can do is, if I want to, is I can put a bit more of a curve on those lines if I need to make them look a bit smoother. And then I can smooth that out as well. So I can work my way around the design, and I can move bits in and out. So you can see here, I maybe want this part here to come up onto his mouth line. So I'll just drag those up onto there. Okay, and then I'll select this little line here because it's a separate piece. And then I'll delete that point, move the start end point up to here. And again, I'll remove that point, move that one up, and then I'll have it round the curve if I need to adjust it. So when you've gone through your design and altering it, it's really easy because now with all the different colors, it's very easy to pick up the individual pieces to edit. So once you've finished the editing of your design, and then you would like to see how it's going to stitch out. So first of all, you make sure that the whole design is selected. So select an area, and then Control A to select all. Then go to the preview menu, and then we're going to turn it into stitches. Okay, and you can see now there's been a lot of jump stitches created in this design because of the different colorings. And then I may optimize the start and entry points, and then we can stitch out the design. So again, we're going to click on simulate, and now you can watch the design as it would sew out. Just to remember that when you create it into HQF format, it doesn't recognize the different colors in the design. It converts it all to black. So it will see it as one complete color when you export it to HQF format. So that now will show you how the design is going to stitch out. Remember to right mouse click to end the function, and then you can go back to the Tools tab. That's all for episode 3 now. However, in episode 4, we will be covering the more tools like the repeat, the carousel and reflect, etc. Look forward to seeing you again shortly. Have fun with your ProStitcher Designer. Bye for now.